Breaking news, God will, Akpabio emerges the Senate President of the 10th National Assembly. This is the breaking news in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God will, Akpabio is the anointed candidate. Of course, it appears that the Jagaban has proven otherwise, of course, to have unleashed his strategic and, of course, political bulldozing in ensuring that his anointed candidate finally makes the list. And of course, history is made today. Just stay tuned as we bring, of course, your way the latest. And regarding the update, it's been announced that Akpabio have the swing. So, what is your stake?
Okay, we are looking at another rubber stamp National Assembly, and for the Tinubu government to work, he needs some people that are loyal to him, so as to stamp whatever he does as a president. Orji Kalu stepped down for Yari, and it is a battle between the North and South. Now the South has won. For me, I look at this as a repeat of what happened during Buhari's time. That we had a National Assembly that is not robust, that is not going to challenge policies of the executive. Now, we freely say that the legislature is not dependent. Sorry, it's not independent, but it's dependent on the executive. There are supposed to be three different independent entities, that is the executive, the legislature, and judiciary. But now, in this Tinubu's government, I see it as the judiciary, the legislature, and the executive, they are one body, which is not good for democracy. Looking at the South is not having any slot in this government of APC led by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I think it's a good one because Orji Kalu fighting against the South is the interest of South, which is having Biafra and other justice, fairness, including the Southeast in the government of the day, is hunting back at him. At the floor today, he was just moody and could not hold himself, seeing Akpabio from the southern part of Nigeria getting that Senate presidency. Generally, I would just say that I don't think this is a good one for democracy, despite the fact that we have the case in court. We have the tribunal looking at the legitimacy of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and what Tinubu has done in order to gauge or gauge the judiciary. The National Assembly for me is a mess.
It's a mess indeed. Would this submission be coming too early, or do we have to watch them and see what unfolds? But the reality is that the North is not happy with the development, and possibly there are spikes of protests going on within the Abuja as a show of dissatisfaction over that. That the entire arm of the government, the president, the judiciary, the Senate president is now from the North, from the entire South.
And this politics Tinubu is playing, it is a politics that I would want to commend, because the North have been playing such kind of politics during their time. When Buhari was president, you see the North held most of the positions. So, vice versa, the North should not complain. But looking at the influence of the North in this government, looking at the endorsement of the Northern governors of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that he got the primaries and he's now the president, the disputed president, I think the North at this point in time will bring up a resistance to the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and also the House. Some Northern senators are very angry. Arewa Consultative Forum, they are very angry with the developments. They all had to line up behind Yari, but at the end of the day, politics played in the House. Jagaban, in the man of politics, played in the House, and somehow Akpabio is now the Senate president.
Then why should they not be angry? But when they were in the helm of affairs, they never condemned the actions and antecedents of Buhari in his lopsided appointment and selection. So why should they not at this time be so insensitive? I mean, to start complaining, isn't that too early for them? For the past 8 years, they have been cruising enjoying absolute power. So why should they be crying at this moment?
The northern politician, I think these people, you can see the difference between a southerner and a northerner when it comes to governance. Buhari was never qualified to become a president of this country, and most northerners that have held that position. Northern politicians are just people who just take up opportunity because of the geopolitical zone they find themselves, and also how Nigeria was structured. If it were to be competence, no northern politician will be holding the position of presidency or senator or the House of Reps. It's just because of the quota system and hypocrisy, double standards of the North. They are crying now that most Southerners are holding positions, but now you see, during the time the North held power, they did the same and they did worse. That's why the fact that they performed woefully. All Northern presidents, except for Yaradua, performed woefully below capacity. So you don't expect people who don't have capacity, as it were, not to cry foul when they see people that, like the South, that have such capacity. You don't expect them not to say anything because they are not up to the capacity which the South is ruling at presidency, Senate, or the House of Reps.
When the president said, "I will step into the shoe of Buhari," possibly people might not understood, of course, the context of his assertion. Could it be a promise kept by his own way of selection? It seems he's towing the same path as Tinubu. Could it be a promise kept?
The North are very disappointed, especially the fanatic part of the North, the political, those guys that without enterprise, they only gain from politics, the Erufais of this world. They are very disappointed at the steps this Southern president, but I don't want to mention Tinubu because I believe Peter Obi is coming, and it's also from the South. This Southern president, the competence he has shown, and he's paying them back in their coin. So stepping in Buhari's shoes, I think what Tinubu is doing is trying to show Buhari that I hope he does not get backlash from some of the cabals that be, but he's paying them in their coin. For me, like I said earlier, in Northerner, these crop of Northern politicians, they don't have anything when it comes to do with competence in holding such elevated position in Nigeria, just as the presidency or even minister. You understand? So, stepping in Buhari's shoes, I think it is Jagaban doing what Jagaban can do. So, Jagaban, the powers that be.
To Jagaban, the powers that be. Oh, that is very fantastic. Thank you for your time. We await the most exciting and intriguing moment. Of course, people anticipate backslide from the northern, of course, politicians who possibly might think their interest is not protected or is jeopardized. With this development, Akpabio is now, of course, the Senate President in the 10th Assembly. Perhaps I may want to say congratulations to him, but whatever happens, we'll continue to keep in touch and abreast with realities as we continue to keep the ripples rolling your way. I remain the host, Anchor Chigozie Ndibo. Please kindly hit the subscription button. It is important that we continue to sensitize you on this. And don't forget to, of course, give us a thumbs up, like and share our videos as we continue to keep you intimated with the unbiased reportage of events as they continue to unfold. That is a breaking news and update. Akpabio, God's will, possibly has emerged as the Senate President of the National Assembly, the 10th Assembly of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.